We've got the 2.2, 2.4 put together. As I said before, it's got a 2.4 block and a 2.2 head. I had to use the head off the old motor because this is just a plain ecotec, and the motor that we got for it was a variable valve timing, a VVT motor. But everything turns over, everything lined up, so we're hoping it'll work out. Maybe just have a little bit less power than what the 2.4 originally had. We got everything dressed, got the coil packs in. I forgot to film the part where I was lining the timing chain, the main primary timing chain back up, but this wasn't a timing chain video anyway. This was just trying to get the motor switched out in my granddaughter's car. Got the new water pump on. I believe we got everything on it that we can put on for right now until we get the motor put back in the car. We got to put the fuel injectors back in, the intake back in. We'll do that. We'll wait and do that after we get the motor in the car. Probably need to stuff some paper towels down in the valves, I guess. We'll do what we can do. Be back in a minute. This is the fuel rail for the 2.2 head, and when we removed it from the motor, one of these caps stayed in the motor, and I practically destroyed it getting it out. But the O-rings are hard anyway. I wouldn't want to reuse them. But GM offers a stock repair kit that has these 4 boots in it and all your seals, and plus your clips for your injectors. And it's a stock kit. 217-22-2257. GM part number is 125-93747. It's the complete seal kit. It has all of your, has these boots, your O-rings, your clips, and your upper O-rings. Has everything in one kit. These are usually about $35-40 bucks. And it's a good insurance if you ever have your injectors out. Got one of the injectors out, and the old upper O-ring, lower O-ring, the trainer clip, and the boot. Now I've got the injector taken apart and cleaned up. The kit comes with a new upper O-ring, a lower clip, and a new boot. 4 little pieces, but I guess it's $10 a valve because it's about $40 for the kit, or $10 a injector. Injectors look really nice, other than they were baked on. I like they never got these little caps off the end. We'll put some Vaseline on these O-rings and get them installed back into the rail. Then we should be able to put the rail back on the car. Okay, the motor is in the car. Front mount's on. Most of the bell housing bolts are in. Down here, it's hard to see. Got a few more bell housing bolts put in. Exhaust manifold. A couple motor to transmission bolts under the bottom next to the passenger side wheel. Put the starter and a few other basic things on. Put the wiring harness on. This thing should be ready. Radiator. We're getting closer. It was a pain. I had the motor on the engine chain crooked, and it was hard to get the line up with the dowel pins, but when we weren't trying, it fell together, so that's the way luck works. Be back in a minute. Motor's in the car. I missed a lot of finishing everything up. We got all the components on it. Got the radiator in, got everything topped off with fluids. Got the air conditioner condenser in. And now we're ready to, got the battery charged, and we're going to see if it's going to start up. Let's try it. Try it again. Try it again. Give it gas. Well, we had our first startup of the engine, and a couple things I noticed when we first started it up. Had a real bad misfire, but also the exhaust manifold was leaking really bad, so we already had another gasket. We used a factory copper gasket when we put it back together, and it didn't work, so we're going to put this later gasket from the kit on and see what that does. We also took some spark plugs out. We had some cracked ceramic on some of our spark plugs, which we got a P0300, which means random misfire. That could be from a couple of things. That we had some cracked plugs, so we replaced the plugs. We put the factory original plugs back in it. Already put those in. I'm going to put this on in a few minutes. I noticed a little bit of a whistle whenever the car started up, which usually indicates that you've got some type of intake leak. So we do have some later model intake gaskets. I didn't want to use the ones that we bought because they seem to be a whole lot thinner, but I took them back out and put the factory gaskets back in, which was probably a big mistake. I want to put these silicone rings back in the intake if the plugs in the exhaust leak doesn't take care of a little random misfire. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see what happens in a few minutes. Well, we got the intake back off the car to put new seals in it. We got the seals in. And while I was sitting here looking at the seals, I noticed this. That is for your power brakes. And this was not hooked up. And that was our whistling noise that we had. I thought we had a bad intake gasket. So now I get to put all this back on. It pays to pay attention. Next time I did. Anything to say, Cat? Alright. We've got everything back together again. Hopefully having the brakes plugged back up is going to make a difference. Hopefully. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Sounds like it's right to me. We'll run a code check on it, make sure we're not showing any codes. I did break this little pipe off, but we'll have to replace that. Got another one somewhere. Looks like it's running pretty smooth. Rev it a little bit. Let it idle.
I haven't pressed the gas one time.
Okay. Sounds good. Looks like we're good to go. Thanks for watching.